Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the J&J Show. I'm JJ, he's Jacob. You already know this. We've been doing this for 21 episodes now. Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of crazy.
You want to know something that's also been kind of crazy lately?
What is that?
Hockey in the tri-state area. What do
That
we
is
got
very
for us,
true.
Jacob? You're the hockey guy. Give us our
I
tri-state
mean, the
hockey update.
Rangers have kind of hit a dry spell lately, losing to the Canadians in the shootout, which unfortunately was upsetting as a Rangers fan. We're both Rangers fans, but for the Rangers fans community on Twitter, man, well, they were
They
going bananas.
flipped out. They
Bananas.
flipped
Yeah,
out.
they flipped
It
out. I mean,
it was
the thing with me for that game is I was fine with the point at least because they went down 3-0 and came back to get a point at least. I mean, you're not going to see that much real. You're not going to see that often, but I mean,
and a lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget what these guys did in that comeback. They scored 3 straight goals, and then they went into the shootout when they probably should have won on a shorthanded goal in overtime. In overtime, they were shorthanded, and they probably should have scored.
yeah.
So, regardless of the fact, they probably should have won this game. And then it came to the shootout, and I thought we were free.
I mean, the thing is, we got to give credit to Matumbo because he made two good. He made a great save on Mika, but
I
I mean,
was
also,
just about to say that.
yeah,
Little did I know, there's a guy by the name of what the hell is this dude's first
Samuel
name?
Matumbo.
Samuel Montembeau, who looked like prime Ken Dryden against the Rangers. That was bad, but the Rangers had not lost a back-to-back game all season, and what did they do? They fucked it up again.
I mean, then walked in the red. I mean, when I say red, I mean red hot Vancouver Canucks.
They're absurdly
There,
good.
I mean, who would have thought the Canucks out of all teams would have been a amazing a top two team in the league right now?
Yeah, at the end of the day, though, with all due respect, shout out Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, Rick Tocchet especially. He's the one that's built this whole team up from the bottom. I mean, they've got JT Miller, Rangers legend, Brock Besser's coming to his own, Pedersen, Quinn Hughes. They
Oh,
got
Philip
that.
Hronik's going crazy.
Yeah, Hronik's going crazy. Who else? We got that rookie Kuzmenko. He's wild. I mean,
Kuzmenko is electric.
yeah, they got a bunch of guys that you can just throw into the lineup, and they will be guys to rally the troops, whatever it is to get the job done. Now they're in the island right now. They are beating the Islanders 2-0, and they're on a power play right now.
That's good news. You always love to see the Islanders losing. So I haven't been following the Islanders. I haven't been following the Devils. I don't give a shit about either team. What do you got for me about that?
So I did go to the Devils game Saturday when they did play the Canucks. The Canucks' first game on this Eastern Tri-State road trip, and it was a 6-4 Canucks up. But for the Devils came back slowly. Now it started off as I pull this up quick. It
Oh,
started off.
side note, I'm going to the Rangers Golden Knights game on January 26th, and I've gotten word I'm sitting on the Chase Bridge again. Don't know how I got there 2 times in a row.
So this Devils Canucks game started off with the second period was filled with goals. I mean, the first period was mad boring, but I mean, second period starts and not even a minute into the period, we got Elias Pettersson, of course, on a tip in.
Is it Elias, or
Elias,
Elias?
I mean, I say it both ways. So he got it started with the tip in, and then JT Miller a couple minutes later, and then Miller a minute and 4 seconds later. Then the Devils came back with two of their own. The funny thing for me was Eric Holla tied, or he didn't tie. He made it 3-2 with 23 seconds left in the second. And the Rock was loud. There were so many "Let's Go Devils" chants. And then right away, Connor Garland on a wraparound gets it past Nico Dawes, and it's back to boost. It's back to boost for the Devils going into the locker room. Not what you want to hear for them.
Brutal.
Then
Brutal.
The funny thing is I left this game when there were 11 minutes left, and the Devils scored twice in like a minute. But then the Canucks with the empty net, 6-4 final.
Yeah. Devils are a strange team, to say the least.
To say the least, yeah, I agree. They definitely are. I mean, they that was a back to back for them too. They came off a 4-2 win against the Blackhawks, and which could either potentially. I mean, I would say the Blackhawks season is probably toast by now, but it's even more toast now. Connor Bedard's gone.
I was about to say, man, the Blackhawks
Bedard's gone for at least a month,
suck.
probably like 2 to 3 at least. But the Devils were down 2-1 going into the third, which shocked me. With Vitek in net, this shocked me because with the Devils, it's always go down by or be down going into the third period against these terrible teams, and then the third period is where they wake up. But for Vancouver, for the case against Vancouver, it was the third period also that they woke up.
That's interesting.
I mean, the Devils next game. Who's their next game against? Devils. I think their next game. Oh, Kyle's going to. Their next game is down in Tampa against the Lightning.
Wait, who's Kyle? Oh, Addison's going?
No, Lev.
Oh, Lev. I forgot. Whoops, wrong Kyle.
Lev's going. Yeah, shout out to Lev.
I know a ton of Kyles.
Yeah, but yeah, they'll be down in Tampa. I mean, that could go either way, in my opinion, for them. But we'll see what happens.
Certified ass whooping. Lightning 5, Devils 1. Now moving on to our next team, the New York Islanders. What's up with them?
So the Islanders. I mean, you could say they're a good team because they're top 3 in the Metro, but you can also say they suck. 10 loser points, as people like to call it, aka overtime losses.
They have 10 loser points.
They are 18, 11, and 10.
Jesus Christ. How do you have 10 overtime losses?
Even though overtime losses, even though extra time losses could be a dub in some teams' cases sometimes, it's still technically a loss. So if you take that into account, the Islanders are technically under 500 as of right now. So they're 18, 11, and 10 with 46 points in third in the Metro. Down 2-0 to the Canucks right now. Had a okay Western trip. Lost to the Avs in OT, where I would say they could have won this game. That game was definitely back.
Avs outplay. I watched that game obviously because shout out my father, Rick Seglo. He is the biggest Avs fan I've ever seen.
So I mean that game went back and forth, but the Islanders had the lead a bunch at times. What was it? They scored the first goal, right? Yeah. 1-0. Then they went up 2-1. They made it 3-1 too. They made it 3-1 at one point. But then the Avs rallied to tie it in that second. Romanov gave them the lead going to the third. The Avs ended up winning in OT. Then the Isles went down to Arizona Mullet Arena, where they did not beat the Coyotes last year. They were looking for revenge, and they crushed them 5-1. Maybe because they faced Connor Ingram instead of Vejmelka, who they faced twice last year.
Vejmelka owns the piss out of the Islanders.
Yeah. But then the Isles go to see the defending champs, Vegas Golden Knights.
Got waxed.
Who, a lot of Islanders fans, and I wouldn't say a lot. I would just say Dom, who was our guest last show, he said he thought the Islanders could win this game because Vegas has not been. They lost like 7 of their last 8 going.
Yeah, no chance. Game. You're not beating.
And the Island short story is the Islanders lost 5-1 or 5-2. Excuse me.
Wow, I just took a guess they got thrown. I didn't even know they got thrown.
Yeah, they got killed. I mean, the Islanders. Let's see, what was it? It started off as 1-1 going to the second, and that's where Vegas took off with 2 in the second. They took a 4-1 lead, and it ended up 5-2. But, I mean, I feel like Sorokin is just getting left out to dry at these points. And sometimes, even though the defense has been solid, they're still missing Polak. Pelech is back for this game. But it's still not the same Isles. I know they're in third, but they do those 10 OT losses. You could take all those away and add another 10 points, and they would be the best team in the league.
Yeah.
If they weren't on pace to break the record for most OT losses.
Yeah, I mean, It's crazy how shit like that happens. It really is when you think about it. Now, that is going to do it for our Tri-State Hockey Update. Let's dive into our next segment. And I'm going to just start off by saying this. A lot of fans of this sport, you guys want to offer from Gardner University? Who the fuck is Gardner University? I'm good, bro.
Wait,
We're
you just
good.
got a message?
No,
that?
on a comment says, do you guys want a D1 offer from Gardner University?
Oh,
Optic
that's a kid at my school. Bitch, such a dick.
piece of garbage.
he messaged the IG and I deleted it right away.
So we got our Giants guest that's already here, but we're gonna bring him on in just a couple of minutes. Because we do have a few other segments to talk about. Let's start off by saying a lot of New York Knicks fans were skeptical about the infamous OG Anunoby trade. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. As of right now, this may be the best trade in all of New York Knicks history.
I mean, from the start, as soon as I saw the news, I was like, what are the Knicks doing? This is
Little
terrible.
did we know that OG stands for Original Gangster. This man is a monster.
Yeah, this man has turned the Knicks around. Knicks are on a complete hot streak right now. I don't know what
crazy work ethic from these guys.
I don't know what it was, but the Knicks have gone absolutely crazy as of late. And they're up by 22 at half right now. What is it? 22,
2, 3, Jesus Christ.
4-game win streak. After
all
the 3
by games that they've won by 5 points or more. 3 of them they've won by 10 points or more.
And I just want to touch on one of these games. I just want to touch on the Philly game because that was an amazing game.
3 of them by 15 or more.
Yeah.
They are beating teams down. This is getting ugly.
That Philly game was great for them. That's
my God,
the
awesome
booster they needed.
That was excellent. I needed a game like that. So bad. Was very happy to see that. Knicks definitely deserved that game, but I'll tell you what. I still hate Julius Randle. I refuse to come around on him because if I do come around on him, he's going to shit the bed. And then when I start hating on him again, he's going to start going back to being himself. Like, me and Julius Randle is like a love-hate relationship. He loves me, and I love to hate him. Period. And then there's Jalen Brunson. Oh, Jalen Brunson.
This could be one of the best signings for the Knicks in a very long time.
What a fucking machine this guy is. Oh, my goodness. This dude's gone crazy, and I love it. And then there's Dante DiVincenzo.
Dante DiVincenzo. Let me check this quick. Let me look this up quick. I'm pretty sure. Didn't he have 38 in Indy against the Pacers? Unfortunately, it was a loss, but 38 for him.
That's us because they did have to go up against a guy named Tyrese Halliburton, who's kind of good at the game of basketball. But yeah, this Knicks team is amazing. And I can't believe I'm actually about to say this, but let's get on to our next topic. This is something that a lot of people have been dreading to hear. One of the people here is our co-host, Mr. Jake. But there's somebody who's been waiting to hear this for a very, very, very long time. Gans, this one's for you, my man. The blue has gone to gold. National champions.
It's been a long time coming for this team.
It has.
Obviously as an Ohio State fan and never wanting to see this, I got to give it to them though. This is as Sam Rosen said. I forgot what he said. I don't know why I said that. I forgot the quote he said. This one will last a lifetime. That's what he said. Yeah. It feels like it's been a lifetime since the last time Michigan has won one. What was it? 97 was the last one.
Yeah.
But Jim Harbaugh finally brings a championship to his team. And I'm gonna just say this now. The defense, I would say the defense is the reason Michigan won this game last night because even though Washington's defense kept Washington in the game, keeping it 7-point game, getting the stops they needed. Michigan's defense stepped up to the plate, especially in that second half when this game became a runaway with that first play interception, which was one of the weirdest picks I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
I didn't
But
even
it didn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't even think that. I thought that hit the ground for sure, but I guess it was picked.
The National Championship should not have counted because of hardball cheating. Shut your bitch ass up. They earned it fair and square. Connor Stallions deserves a statue outside of Ann Arbor.
I feel like, Connor Stallions was at both games. I'm pretty sure. I know he was at the Rose Bowl. I'm guessing he was also in Houston last night.
Oh, 100%. This man fell on the sword for the good of the team.
I mean,
You gotta
even though
love
he was forced to leave, bro kind of deserves something.
I mean, I'll be honest here. Here's the fun thing I'm going to say. There's going to be consequences for this, but I don't think Michigan takes a single one of them. You know who I think it's going to come back to?
I don't know who you're saying. You can just say it all.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
I do, because I truly believe they made this up to get a better advantage against Michigan, and they still lost.
The thing is was there even evidence that came out against Michigan?
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is they said they had evidence.
Nothing came out.
Yeah, nothing came out though. That's the thing.
Tell you what,
like I say to Gans all the time, I don't believe anything until I see something.
I'm kind of the same way.
Because there was nothing, and
Yeah.
even though people can say like, "Oh yeah, Michigan cheated. This should be an asterisk." We can say the same thing for the Astros, but no one's gonna in 2 years. Everyone should forget about this because nobody can change it. Like, it was Michigan's year. And I know that if Ohio State did beat them, I know Michigan probably
Wouldn't even have gone to the playoff.
It would have been a close toss up between them and Bama. I would feel like, because
not to mention they would have given Michigan the guillotine.
Yeah.
Like if Ohio State beat them, God forbid what college football would have done to them. God forbid what guys like Buckeye Brandon and Fat Ev would have done. That would have been a circus among all circuses. But you want to know something that's also been a circus?
What is that?
The NFL this season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say.
This was one of the weirder years of the NFL.
We have a lot to dive into. We missed 2 weeks. Let's dive right into it. NFL Week 17, Browns and the Jets in the Joe Flacco game. The Browns just destroyed these guys.
Yeah,
flat out.
this was the week. Week 17 was the week of stories to finally, I would say, unfold into the stories. I won't say come to their ending yet, because obviously the Browns are in the playoffs now after the win against the Jets. But
yeah, what a fairy tale! What a fairy tale!
Yeah,
I mean,
fairy tale. Finally, Joe Flacco gets to the finish line in the regular season
to the playoffs.
Yeah, so now the Browns are in it. And we'll talk about the playoff matchups later, but this second game, man.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Let's just get into it.
I mean, it was a good defensive game, I would say. This was in my opinion, a low-scoring game. 20-19. For me, a little bit on the lower side. Because, Lions offense.
I did not expect it to be this low scoring.
Yeah, I didn't get 20-19.
Because the Lions defense is terrible.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss that when we get into the playoffs. But yeah, let's just get to the ending. We all know how this game ended.
Let's talk about the main thing that happened in this game. Nobody cared about the plays before.
No one cared about the Jimmy Johnson Ring of Honor thing. Yeah. Only Cowboy fans did.
Everyone cares about this infamous 2-point conversion. Now,
infamous is a great way to put it as of right now.
Taylor Decker.
Oh no.
Dan Skipper. The 2 people I'm looking at right now.
What a name.
So, I don't think we have the footage or anything, but it appears in the huddle, Jared Goff tells Decker to go report. Skipper's already next to Brad Allen. And Brad Allen, like as they walk up to Brad Allen, he walks away. And I guess Skipper's the only one that reported. Because he did announce Skipper. He did say 70 reported, but not
Yeah,
68.
the whole situation is bad. But then you're getting Dan Campbell's one getting knocked. Like, hey, you have another shot. Go kick the damn extra point. Go to overtime. Try your luck against these guys. Dan Campbell's aggression is going to cost him. And it did in this game. Because then they got a third opportunity and fucked it up again. Their aggressiveness is going to kill them.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it right now. Their aggressiveness will kill them in the future.
Well, Dan Campbell, I love that he wanted to win the game right there.
Yeah. You can't dislike him because of that.
Yeah. But 3 tries. Like the first one,
Take the damn point. It ties the
okay,
game.
here's the thing. The first one, okay. That's, I mean, they could get it. They showed potential to get it. Second try after the mic is offside. That the Cowboys got pressure on the second attempt. Like if that gets there again, game's over. So if I'm the Lions, to be honest, I would have just kicked it. And the third one, I'm gonna just say this: out of everyone on the field,
Why?
James Mitchell.
Why?
James Mitchell. Why? Why James Mitchell out of everyone? Couldn't be anyone else.
Ross, Sam Laporta. Hell, even Jahmyr Gibbs would have probably done better than that guy. Jesus Christ, that was awful. But yeah, that was that. The next 2 games both sucked. And then there was the Dolphins-Ravens game. Talk about a major ass kicking.
I mean, props to the Ravens.
I was watching this. I was watching this during halftime of the Giants-Rams game, which I will get into in a minute once we are done with these games. Then there was the Saints-Bucks game, and I saw the score. Saints were up 20-0 because they showed it up on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
How many kits do I have? Too many. I can't even count them. Anywho, I watched that, and then there was the Bills-Patriots game. That was kind of crazy. Cardinals-Eagles game. I mean, I don't know what to say about that game. Let's just get into that game.
I mean, let's talk about that one for a bit because the Eagles, man, I don't even know what to say at this point.
I don't know either.
I don't even know.
After a 99-yard interception return.
I'm gonna be honest. What was that? Like,
that's what you do to follow that up?
I was just confused about that pick six. Kyler just threw it. Kyler just.
Say about that.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. But Eagles had all the momentum, and you let the Cardinals take it away.
The Cardinals. All you had to do was keep winning. The Cowboys were going to drop at some point. You didn't take advantage.
You had Alabama-type schedule.
And you shit the bed.
You legit had Chattanooga in Week 17.
And shit the bed. You then played another team, which is like the Citadel, which we will get into once we're done with this. Because there's somebody else who would like a word on that.
Yeah. But
that game was awful.
Yeah.
Eagles were last week's Lol Cow of the Week. So I did not forget. There we are. Week 17 Lol Cow of the Week. There we go. And then there was the final 2 games on the bottom. I didn't watch either game. All I heard is that David Tepper threw a drink on someone, and the Colts.
I heard he got fined like $300K.
And then the Chargers and then the Colts decided to just let the Raiders come back.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's get into the other half of the games. I know we all are looking at the game on the top left. I'm zooming into this one. There was somebody that's in this stream right now. I was at this game I met up with this guy. I'm just going to shut up and give him the mic. Welcome back, our boy JT.
Yo, what's good, JJ? Jacob, what's good, man?
JT?
How you doing?
I feel good. The Giants took care of business. We beat the Eagles, but
we will get onto the Eagles game.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But Giants took care of business. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Because everyone knew they could have won that game. They just make the field goal, they win that game.
We can't just talk about the game. We have to talk about the shit we did pre-game. Pre-game was crazy because JT met up with me. We were on the Rams side, and he went around asking all these Ram fans score predictions because there's a TikTok up on his page, which I'm in. And by the way, JT's really tall in person. He's very tall. He's like
You're not that
6'6".
much shorter than me. I'm 6'5". You're like
6'1".
6'2",
6'1", 6'2".
6'1". Yeah.
And one of the players that we saw at this game, and I'm going to go get this real quick because I have a piece that I'm going to hold on to for the rest of my life by this should be Defensive Rookie of the Year, the conductor, the man who signed my hat, Kobe Turner. JT asked this man for a score prediction, and his reaction was priceless.
Jason, can you pull up clips on here or not?
Yes, I'm gonna pull the TikTok right now.
That TikTok was actually pretty. That TikTok was actually pretty funny.
I'm
basically like I don't know if it's like a superstition, but these players hate giving score predictions before
they
games.
refuse. They just don't do it.
I talked to Darren Waller. I talked to Adoree Jackson, Trey Hawkins, and Kobe Turner.
Here's the
Yeah, there you
video.
go.
Here's the video. All right, I'm just gonna let this shit roll. By the way, it was not as cold as everyone tried to tell me it was. This game was not cold at all. It was like, 40
I don't think we got sound.
Yeah, we don't got sound, but
as I'm casually wearing my puffer suit and my Rams neck gaiter.
JJ, you got to give us a summary of what he's saying because we can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No, just give us a summary of what he says.
Okay. Hang on, let me turn up the volume. Let's try this again.
I'm basically saying like, yo, what is it? Wait, what was your prediction?
31-20 was my prediction.
Yeah, let me see.
That was could have happened. Definitely could have happened.
Yeah, and now here I'm talking to Trey Hawkins.
Yep.
And there's no sound.
Are you sure you can't hear it? Because I can hear it.
Yeah, we can't hear it. You can't hear it? Or you can hear it?
I can't hear it. I mean, JJ probably can because it's on the screen.
Yeah, I can hear it. Anyway, so what he then goes, all right, since there's no sound, I might as well just mute the sound on this. He then goes on to say, like, he is like shaking his head. He's refusing to give a prediction.
Yeah. He's like, nah, you can't get a score prediction. Come on, man. What are we doing?
And who are we talking to here?
This is Adoree Jackson.
Not even showing his, just showing his, for some reason, very loud.
I just had the camera rolling because I always talk to Adoree Jackson. I love Adoree Jackson. He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy, but I'm gonna say this: he kind of blew the game with that missed tackle.
Nah, Adoree Jackson took care of business.
We'll get on to that later. But then JT then goes on to say Giants by 1 million, and he's like, and then Adoree just agrees. Got the most bling in the world for no reason. And then he started finding another random Giants fan in the Rams section for whatever reason. And for those who tried to tell me that there were no Rams fans are just wrong. JT could vouch for that. There was nothing but Ram fans in his section.
I mean, in the beginning of the game, you saw a bunch of Rams fans down there because that's where the Rams practice, like that's where they warm up.
Giant fans showed up fashionably late. Giant fans showed up fashionably late for this game.
Yeah.
And
that's usually how it goes. The Giants are really good at filling away stadiums, where we suck at filling our own stadium.
You did a really good job filling the stadium, though.
Yeah.
So he then goes on to say 17-10, 2 touchdowns for Tyrod Taylor. He got part of that, right? He said 2 touchdowns for Tyrod. Then we had this random guy wearing a Rams jersey. JT's talking more shit. And there he is, the man of the hour, Kobe Turner. First of all, he thought we were asking for some sort of picture. Then he hears score prediction, and he's like, "Oh hell no! I can't give it a score." And I'm like, and I just screamed out like, "Just domination." And he's like, basically. So yeah, that's what it was. That was our experience at the game. Now let's get back down to business. This game was a flat out shit show, and JT can vouch for me.
It was a really good defensive game for the Giants. They just were like, I don't even know, like if I wasn't like, if we were out of the playoffs, like I would be like in the same boat as you, JJ. I'll be like, this is a shit show because
We would've lost.
both sides look terrible. Like the offenses on both sides.
Listen,
How
man.
many turnovers did Matt Stafford have? He threw
Only
like
Stafford
a
had
couple
2
picks.
interceptions, both to Dane Belton. Where the
Yeah,
fuck did he come from?
Bro,
Seriously.
Dane Belton has been, coming up this season. He's like
The
one of those
dude
guys who
has
like
just
developing.
come out of
Um,
nowhere.
No, I like Dane Belton.
The thing is, if
he's a dude.
Dame Belton will be the starting safety if McKinney leaves this offseason.
Yeah. He showed out in the Eagles game because he was filling in for Jason Pinnock,
Yeah.
who's played very well. And he was a big factor in that win. So I like Dane Belton's development curve right now. I think he's gonna be a good player for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he definitely showed out against us. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I said before the game, I wanted to win by any means necessary. I didn't mean it literally, Rams. What the fuck? We give a second punt return touchdown to Gunnar Olszewski. A dude that I don't know.
Gunnar Olszewski is him.
I don't know if you
He's
remember.
he's that guy.
Do you remember when he was getting very loudly booed by Giants fans for failing to field a punt? And everyone was like, get him off the field, all that shit. And another thing I remember is that Tyrod Taylor threw the ball really well in this game.
Yeah.
Not on that 2.2.
On passes 25 yards or longer. Also, I learned the Giants cannot convert a 4th down and 1 to save their lives.
That's because the offensive line's not good.
Like JT and I it was a shit show for the Giants on 4th down. It was bad. They converted a 3rd and 16 before they converted a 4th and 1.
The Giants are a team that want to like push the ball down the field, and you kind of saw that with Tyrod. That's why if the Giants are going to draft a quarterback, I almost like them staying put and taking Michael Penix.
MPJ?
Because
all right.
yeah, because if you look at like their play style, I just see Michael Penix like running that same kind of like push ball down the field type of offense, and that's exactly what Brian Daboll wants to do. And like they kind of showed how well they can do that when they get a little bit of, when they have the right guy for it. I think Danny just isn't the guy for that, but Tyrod is that kind of guy.
The other thing I got to mention with Tyrod is the situation with the fact that dude was throwing bombs down the field. Like the one to Darius Slayton. What was that, like 75 yards?
That was a nice ball. That was a really nice ball.
It's crazy that the Giants show up at the latest, when it doesn't matter anymore, the Giants love showing up. Because now you see in the Christmas Day game, the 80-yard touchdown. Now they figured out how to start throwing the ball well.
They compete. I'm gonna say this: the Giants compete, and they do a very good job at it. Now, the other thing that I gotta mention is Wan'Dale Robinson. I learned how great Wan'Dale Robinson is in this game.
He's developed.
He's showing out. He is the guy that we hoped Kadarius Toney would be, and I love Wan'Dale Robinson.
Fair point.
I got a bunch of jerseys of guys I really liked this offseason. Like before next season, I'm getting a Wan'Dale Robinson jersey.
Interesting decision.
Speaking of my jersey, I got Sterling Shepard. I'm honoring Sterling Shepard for his valiant efforts on the Giants.
Yeah, too bad he's gone. Oh, by the way, we need to confirm this. JT has been having some issues lately with a certain player on the Giants, and his name is Dexter Lawrence. Not for his on-field play, but JT has been on a crusade, and he's failed for another season.
Well, I wasn't on the crusade last season, to be fair. So here's the deal. I talk to these players probably whenever I go to a Giants game. Whenever I go to the game, I always go to the players lot. to
Yeah,
go
Bud Light Gate.
Blue carpet.
to go. It's a Bud Light Gate, I think. Yeah.
Speaking of which, trying to find the away gate was a complete shit show. Thanks.
Bro, it's not
JT.
that hard. You literally could go at any
They
game.
legit
They-
had buses with a giant gate blocking it all off. That was so stupid.
That's
Yeah,
the same thing
so-
that happened to me. I saw Justin Fields through a game when I went to a Bears Jets game one time.
All right,
I-
so let me tell you about this crusade that JJ is talking about, so you have some context.
Yeah.
So last offseason, I bought 2 jerseys. I bought Bobby Okereke and I bought Dexter Lawrence because those are 2 guys like I knew were going to be here for a couple of years and I really love their game. And so I figured, I go to the gate every single game. Why don't I try to get these jerseys signed? I'm not like someone who resells jerseys. I just think it's cool to have the signed jerseys. Like for example, I have 3 Saquon Barkley jerseys, 1 up there. I have 2 more like regular style jerseys, and they're all signed. So I figured, this shouldn't be too hard to go get, Dexter Lawrence and Bobby Okereke. Dude, so Bobby Okereke, the deal with him, I saw him once in the beginning of the season, and I never saw him again because he never went to the players' gate, not to my knowledge. He never went out where I was after like the first or second game. So that was a lost cause. Dexter Lawrence came out that same way every single time, and there were probably 4, 5, 6 chances for me to get the man's signature because I was always like in the right spot. I know what to do. Like if if you're friendly, they'll usually sign for you. But like I was just like a victim of bad luck because like I'm standing there at the gate. I got my jersey out, I got my pen. I'm like, hey Dexter, could you sign my jersey, please? You just be friendly. And like he's coming down. I'm like, bet, I'm good. I'm good. He's coming down the line. If I just have my pen ready, I'll be all good. And he gets to about 3 people down from me, and he crosses to the other side, and then he just leaves. So
And that's not even the funniest part. You got to get to the funny part.
yeah. So wait, I'm trying to recall.
Come on, this
You-
guy this guy will have its own segment.
You
Think of your
wait.
franchise. Think of your
my-
franchise player.
My franchise player. You get the I don't know which story you're talking about. Get it
He's
started,
right
I'll finish it.
behind you, JT. to the left.
Daniel Jones.
No, the
okay.
other guy.
Oh, Saquon Barkley.
Yes, tell him the Saquon Barkley story. 'Cause that's even funnier.
Oh, I mean, I have a ton of Saquon Barkley stories.
The one
I
with
talked-
the one you told me.
what did I tell you? Get it started, and I'll finish it.
So
'cause
you
I have a lot of
said so
Saquon
you
Barkley
went on a
stories.
hunt to get Dexter Lawrence to sign the jersey again, and then out comes
Oh my
Saquon
god!
Barkley.
Oh my god! Yes, I got it. Okay. So I might actually go run upstairs and get this. Saquon Barkley is
You
a
can run up
really,
if you want it.
really-
You can run up if you want. Use your
I'll
Wando.
grab it. I'll grab it after I say this.
All
So Saquon Barkley is a really nice guy. Like if you're friendly and like you're respectful, he is one of those guys, and Sterling Shepard is one of those guys too.
Both of them answered the door for my friend when he went trick or treating. He went to both of their houses and they
Yeah.
both answered the door.
Yeah, they're really good guys. So basically he was coming down the line signing for like literally every single person, and I'm waiting for Bobby Okereke. This is a Bobby Okereke story, not the Dexter Lawrence
Oh,
one.
not Dexter. Okay, Bobby. Okay.
Yeah. So I have my Bobby Okereke jersey because Dexter Lawrence had already come out. So I'm just all right. I'm like, okay, Bobby Okereke comes out. I got my jersey ready. It's all set. He comes down the line. I actually have a video that I may post to TikTok because I just have my phone recording in case anything like cool or like funny happened. So I just have my camera rolling. I have my jersey out. Saquon comes down. He's like, do you want me to sign your jersey? And I'm like, Saquon Barkley is right here asking me if he wants to sign my Giants jersey. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like this is like my favorite player I've ever watched, maybe other than Odell Beckham. And he's asking me if he could sign my jersey. So I'm like, uh-huh. I'm like, and he signs my Bobby Okereke jersey. So now I have a Bobby Okereke jersey signed by Saquon. because I didn't know how to tell him. I really only wanted Bobby Okereke to sign that jersey.
This is why I refuse to get jerseys signed unless I know I can find the dude. That's
Yeah.
why I chose the hat option. Because I'm like, what am I going to do? Have Kobe Turner sign my Kyron Williams jersey? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
I
now.
mean, look, I know a lot of people will like they don't really care. And like if you're not selling the jersey, it doesn't really matter. Like but it is cool to like have
It is
a
cool.
jersey just signed by the one player. But I know people they just have like the whole team sign the jersey.
I made a bonehead move once with an autograph. So it's the year they drafted Daniel Jones, and I'm at the draft party in the club you were in, JJ, for the Rams game, and Alec Ogletree's there.
Oh,
So-
nice.
So I have
By the
him
way,
on a
that club
football.
is
I have
awesome.
him on one of my 4 footballs that I have that are up there, and he's already on the one I have. So my dad's like, "Why don't you get him?" And I say as quietly to my dad, "I already have him." I give the football to Alec, and he scribbles on it. He just writes like 2 lines.
Yeah, I mean, I have like some guys like their signatures are like really hard to tell which one it is. So like I think my football's right here. Nah, whatever. I'll get it when I get my Bobby Okereke jersey. But like it's literally like a scribble and like I'm like trying to like rack my brain like who the hell signed this? I don't know who this is. And then like I remember like oh yeah, that was the first guy. That's like Matt Peart or something. And it's just some random player.
This is what I got hanging up here. If you could see that.
Yeah, you got the I can't see the signature, but you just got the signature footballs.
If you can see, this is what it.
Ah,
The
I
small,
see.
the scribbled one, like right there. That's
Yeah,
Ogletree.
who the hell is that? I mean,
that
you
was
know it's
Ogletree when I
Alec
said to my
Ogletree.
dad, I already had. I didn't even think he would hear it, but he did somehow, and he scribbled on it. So I'll have that forever.
Yeah. No, I mean, I take what I do is if I have a ball like that, I'll take like a picture of it because like some guy like it's probably like 30% of these guys, it like their signature is just like a scribble. So like
Yeah.
if you don't remember who it was that signed it, like you're never gonna
Yeah.
like you go a couple days, you're never gonna know who that is. So I take like a picture and I'll go in like the Snapchat editor and I'll write like, okay, I know Jihad Ward signed this. He doesn't have a messy signature, or like Matt Peart. I know like his signature is kind of like messy. So I'll be like, this is Matt Peart that signed this.
Matt
so that's-
Peart, what a absolute scrub.
He's not a scrub. He's just
Connecticut draft.
really.
Kobe Turner bodied the shit out of him.
Matt Peart.
Oh yeah, can we talk about Tyree Phillips? That dude almost died at that game.
I thought it was just a leg injury. No.
No,
It
he
was
got
also
parted
that
off.
like
Do you remember?
neck injury or something.
Oh,
I
shit.
forgot. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
he
he had
got-
like a small neck injury at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Safe to say the Giants' whole line is full of injuries. You go back into the game, think you're fine, you get injured like the next play.
Legit,
I think
like,
that blocked field goal at the beginning of the season where Andrew Thomas and Graham Gano got injured. I honestly think that play, it was like on like the second drive of the season.
Yeah.
That play ruined the season because we didn't have Andrew Thomas for like a ton of key games.
Yeah.
And then Graham Gano was trying to play hurt because he got hurt. He got some injury that he sustained on that play that he needs surgery for. That play ruined our season because of injuries.
That drive. I was like, oh wow, maybe the season will be promising again. But then the block.
Yeah, they actually looked pretty good. Like they couldn't.
I saw someone that
throw the
said,
ball, but I'm like,
yeah.
they're moving this thing down the field, and then that thing happens, and it's just like there's nothing you can really do about that.
I saw someone that said after the false start on 2nd and 1. I don't even know. I think they made this up. But on 2nd and 1, they knew the season was downhill. I mean, what are they?
Here's a good question. What would happen if JT didn't say first points of the season on that blocked field goal.
If I didn't say first points of the season, they would have made the field goal. There would be no return, and
You would
Andrew
have
Thomas
beaten the
wouldn't have gotten
Cowboys.
hurt.
You would've beaten the Cowboys.
This is what would have happened. Okay, so Dallas doesn't go up a touchdown like right out of the gate. The Giants put up like the first points of the game. So the Giants start 3-0. Then Andrew Thomas isn't hurt and Graham Gano isn't hurt, so he doesn't miss 2 more field goals. So they at least lose that game by like 17, like by like 24-17.
But the future.
And if they lose that game, 24-17, you don't have this super bleak like outlook on the season. Like, holy shit, we just got 40 bombed at home against a division rival in the home opener.
Yeah.
And if so, basically I killed the Giants season single-handedly by jinxing
Yes,
Graham
you did,
Gano.
JT. Maybe
Yep.
next time. All right. So what are we not gonna do next year?
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say first points of the season. That would be.
Don't even say anything. Just watch it happen.
I'm just gonna. I'm not even gonna talk at games from now on. I'm not even gonna say anything.
Anyway, moving on from that Giant spiel, which we've got 2 more Giant spiels,
Oh,
which we'll get into. JT, if I were you, I would go get that Bobby Okereke jersey.
All right, give me 1 sec.
Take your time, man. 49ers, Commanders, I think we both expected that.
Yep.
That was brutal.
Niners killed them.
And then we had the Pittsburgh Steelers doing their due justice, getting us into the playoffs.
Good game by the Steelers. Mason Rudolph continue to impress, and they got the win.
Then there was that Chiefs-Bengals game where Harrison Butker, 6 field goals.
Carried the
I
Chiefs.
was speechless.
Carried
Chargers
the
Broncos, nobody watched it. Packers
Nope.
Vikings, I got incredibly intoxicated and enjoyed myself a very nice New Year's.
Chiefs. Showed a goodie. Shout out to him.
Shout out me, shout out Goody. On to week 18 we go. The Steelers beat the Ravens again, and the Texans and Colts had arguably one of the best games of the year with one of the saddest endings of the year.
Tyler Goodson, your lucky locale of the week is not a singular player because you probably would be it. Also, Gardner Minshew, throw the ball correctly, please.
Yeah.
The Texans finally get into the playoffs, and they'll be like we'll talk about the matchups later, but they got a good game.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting game with whoever they're playing, which we'll get into in a minute. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Who is the locale of the week? We had a lot of week 18 shenanigans, but it goes to none other, a team that started 8-3. They were supposed to get the number 1 seed.
JJ, this team sounds really good. 8-3 to start the year. This team sounds really good.
They finished 9-8 and were humiliated by their division rival, who just fired their head coach, are going to lose their.
And I'm pretty sure that was their first divisional win in like 2 years.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are lol cats of the week. Jesus Christmas, this was awful. And I had my family visiting from Florida in Tallahassee. They're huge Jaguars fans.
Oh no.
We watched that shit show.
Oh no.
And when I got downstairs to the basement watching the Rams game, I just laughed. I laughed so hard. I was holding it in for God knows how long. And yeah, that was that. That was our locale of the week. Jaguars, you're a fucking embarrassment. Moving back on. Lions, Vikings. The Lions won, but at what cost? You lost Sam Laporta for a while.
Is it for a while though?
I think so.
All right. I mean, next game. That was a not cared about game, but the ending of that created some.
That was hilarious. Arthur Smith, you're fired.
Arthur Smith, you're a joke.
You're a joke. You're fired. In, out, done. Moving on. Jets, Patriots. The war is over. The New York Jets have finally beat the New England Patriots after 15 straight games. The Buccaneers and the Panthers, that was a game where no one deserved to win.
No, yep, but the Bucs did win the South.
and they win the South somehow, some way. Browns Bengals. This was a good game, but the Bengals just destroyed them. Packers Bears, intriguing contest to say the least, but not at all surprised with the ending. Packers won.
in the
I was
playoff.
definitely rooting for the Bears, but thankfully the outcome of our game changed everything. Cowboys and Commanders. The Cowboys won, clinching the NFC East, and we'll get into the late window games in a minute. By the way, I just want to say right now, if the team we're playing can't stop, if whoever's playing us can't stop Kyron Williams, you're in for a very long game.
Mhm.
Moving on to the Broncos and Raiders. I don't think anybody watched this game. The Raiders won. Hopefully they keep Antonio Pierce because he's a great coach. They better not give him the Rich Bisaccia treatment or you're going to be stuck with bad luck because you're probably going to end up hiring Arthur Smith. I would not be
Or Bill
surprised.
Belichick.
I would not be surprised at this point.
Or hold up. There was rumors. Jim Harbaugh.
Wouldn't be surprised with that either. Seahawks Cardinals. Seahawks won, but you missed the playoffs. Womp womp.
Such
Chiefs,
a start.
Chiefs Chargers. No one watched that game besides Jaguar fans who love Blaine Gabbert to death, which I don't think is anybody left. The Rams and the 49ers. Miracles happen, ladies and gentlemen. We have finally beaten the San Francisco 49ers in a regular season game. Hallelujah. Carson Wentz is him. Puka Nacua broke 2 records, and he should win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but he won't. It's stupid. I hate this. Knicks are up 36. I love it.
And last one, Bills Dolphins.
Wait. Hang
Why don't
on
I
just a
want that one?
second. We forgot a game here.
I know, but
JT
that's
is
only going to
back.
take 30 minutes.
JT
Yeah.
is back. Let's dive into this Eagles-Giants game.
Let's see the Saquon Bobby
Okay.
Okereke jersey.
So you could tell I was unprepared because I had him use my red pen, my red marker. So I was just discombobulated, honestly.
Yeah,
Like-
it did.
I'm like, here, just take anything. I had that thing on my lapel, but yeah. Saquon's a guy. I talked to his father. Saquon's father is a real, like, you could tell where Saquon gets it from.
Yeah. He
All
is.
right,
Let's dive into this game.
Only,
Giant fans.
only watched like the fourth quarter, but when I was driving home and listening to the radio, man, was I happy.
Listen, I learned that what did I learn after this? I learned that the Giants did lose better draft pick, but you got the satisfaction of not only beating the Eagles, but
we only
stomping.
lost one spot. We only moved
Yeah,
back
it's
one
not
spot.
Still,
You
but
know
still.
what? I
Listen.
will take a win over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Not just a win.
For one spot.
Not just a win.
a blowout.
An
A
ass
blowout.
kicking.
An ass
JT,
kicking.
I know you wish you were at this game.
So let me tell you the deal. I just went on vacation.
That's right. 'Cause
I
you
went
told
on
me
a
you went to the
cruise. Yeah, I went on a
told me
cruise
that.
with my fiance's family, and so the day this was, so it's like to be determined. The Week 18 games are to be determined.
Yeah.
I held on to the tickets because I was planning on being back by like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So basically, I if this game was slotted to be a primetime game, me and Katahat would have went to this game.
I'm sure either of you, I'm sure he's happy he didn't go.
Yeah. I mean, the weather was really bad apparently. But so what happened was there was this whole fiasco with the flight, and basically like we couldn't fly on the plane because like my fiance like was having like this like allergic reaction, and like she's got like an airborne tree nut allergy, and if you know about like airborne tree nut allergies, like it's no joke, like it's pretty serious. And like they announced, they're like the flight attendants like, hey, we have someone with an airborne tree nut allergy. If you open like some kind of nuts, like it's going to be bad. So like, please don't do that. And someone behind us, they were just feeling almonds that day. So, had to have their almonds. Basically, she started having an allergic reaction. Point is, we couldn't fly.
No.
And I wasn't gonna leave her. So we get in the car. Well, no, so let me back up. We get off the plane. We find out we can't fly until she gets like cleared by like a medical team. So we weren't gonna wait for all that. We just wanted to get going. And we started driving. We rented a car. We started driving from Fort Lauderdale up to New Jersey, and it was about an 18-hour drive. So
Jeez.
during this
That's
game,
accurate. That's accurate.
during this game, I actually like wasn't like I'm like I saw the game on the schedule. I'm like, all right, there's no chance I'm going to make this game anyway. I'm not even going to listen to it. I know we're going to get our asses kicked like we usually do. Then, in the second quarter, at the end of the first half, Kata Hot had texted me, and he said, "Look at the score of the Eagles game." And at that point, I was with my fiance in Target because we were getting some stuff for the road, and like I pull out my phone and I look at the score, and I'm like, I freeze because it was 24-0 at the end of the first half, and I'm like, this is the biggest collapse we've ever seen from a 10-1 team.
Yeah.
At through the first 11 games.
Oh, 100%.
And Philly set records with that collapse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they go through their first 11 games 10-1, and then these last 7 games they finished the season 1-6, and they lost to a team that they are basically part owners of. Like they own this team has been dominating us for the past decade. There should not be a situation where if you're the Eagles, there should not be a situation where you are losing to the Giants.
This
Yeah.
finally this felt so good to win, because not only there's been so many games where the Giants could have beaten the Eagles, but it just didn't happen. Like the Engram drop when he was wide open. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that would have sent the Giants to
we would have made the playoffs. Yeah. We were one
playoffs
game out of the
that year.
playoffs that year.
But there's been so many things that haven't been in the cards when the Giants play the Eagles in the last couple weeks. But this win to just prevent them from winning the division felt so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, so I got kind of a similar experience. The Rams were down 20-7 in the 49ers, and Puka had just broken the record, both of them. So congrats to him. I had just come upstairs and I asked my dad, "What's the score of the game?" He's like, 24-0. And I'm like, damn, that escalated quickly. He said, "Giants." I'm like, shut the fuck up. Then I see the score and I fall backwards onto the couch.
So
And
you
then
had
we
the same
Yeah, I'm like,
what the hell is happening?
When
kind of
Crosby
reaction.
hit the field goal to get the first 3 points, I was like, oh, they stopped him. They stopped him on the first drive. Wow.
with the Eagles playing their starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
might have lost AJ Brown for a while too.
Is he
When
really
I-
injured? I couldn't watch that game because
So
I was
what
out of
happened
market for that game
what
because I was in
happened
South
was-
Florida when they played.
Yeah, what happened was I'm pretty sure they were at the Giants 20. He catches a slant and Nick McLeod booms his arm and he fumbled.
Yeah. It was a clean hit by McLeod.
And
Nick-
Mike and McFadden was right there to scoop it up. When I heard that and I heard Brown was down, someone I know texted me. He's like, AJ Brown has just been summoned to the MetLife turf gods. I'm like, what? Not a torn ACL. There's no shot he tore his ACL at MetLife. Because MetLife's turf is famous for tearing people's ACLs.
Wandale Robinson. Sterling Shepard.
Who else?
Odell Beckham.
Yeah, Odell one time.
That wasn't just an ACL tear. That was because Jason Verrett intentionally took him out of the game. That was not because the turf was that split film turf. That was a dirty play. This is back in 2017.
Yeah,
Was
he
it
was
against
he was on the
against the
Chargers.
Eagles?
No, it was the
This
Chargers.
was against the Chargers.
Oh, I remember this game because
I'm pretty sure the
Chargers
Giants
were
were down 1 or something, and then it happened.
They were down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on a game-winning drive, and Odell Beckham is in the game, and Jason Verrett on the Chargers is like, well, maybe in that moment saw an opportunity. Okay, Let me take him out of the game. Lands on Odell's ankle and basically forces it
He
forces it
alligator, he
backwards.
alligator rolled on him.
Yeah. So that had nothing to do with the turf. That had everything to do with Odell was a star and he was targeted because he was really good.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, with that being said, there was one game left, and it was the battle of the AFC East between the Bills and the Dolphins.
I'm gonna say
The
this now.
Dolphins fucking choked.
Yeah, boring game to start, but we picked it up at the end.
The Dolphins flat out choked. You want to know what they did? They reminded me a lot of this team right here.
Los Mets.
Had the division lead for the majority of the
Oh.
season, and then at the very end,
Is that signed?
is that signed, JT?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Fire. Never sell that ever.
Yeah, I love this thing. Odell
Odell
will forever be a Giants legend.
My two Giants players I've dreamed of getting autos when they were on the team were Eli and Odell. Never.
I
got
have
them.
both of them, and I can sell you both of them if I really want to.
I really want Eli's signature on.
I have
a
Eli's
couple.
signature. I have Eli's twice
On a jersey or on football.
on a football and in my autographs book I used to have when I was younger. I had Antonio
Okay.
Pierce. I had OC Minora,
Damn.
APP.
I didn't go to my first Giants game till like 2016.
The truth is, the Giants run deep in my family, and it's my dad's biggest regret that I'm not a Giants fan.
I used to always get like boxes like the Pepsi stuff because my dad's friend would like owns restaurants and like Pepsi would be one of the vendors, so I would always get like sweet tickets.
What I remember is they used to, back in, I think it was 2011, 2012, at Stop and Shop, they used to
Yup.
have New York Giants
Yeah.
football cards.
Oh well, I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of like they always had legends go to Stop and Shop.
No, they had actual cards at Stop and Shop that you could only get at Stop and Shop. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, back to the Bills and the Dolphins game. The Dolphins flat out choked the league.
Yeah.
This was bad. And now they have to go play Kansas City and Arrowhead. But before we get into the playoffs, we thought this was going to be a normal offseason for the Giants. Nope, because already there's drama. There are two dilemmas. The first one is a lot of Giants are very nervous that there's a certain player that may or may not have played his final game as a New York Giant. And that's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about this guy? Is he in with the Giants or is he going elsewhere?
You know, JJ, this is a really, because Saquon Barkley is honestly one of my favorite players that I've ever watched as a Giants fan, and it would tear my heart out of my chest if Saquon was no longer a New York Giant. But the reality is Saquon is a luxury we just can't afford.
Yeah.
And
Giants are a cheap organization, to be fair.
They're not a cheap organization. They don't want to make a stupid decision by paying a running back who can't get over 1,000 yards.
I mean,
Not
and
to
they're
mention
also
they
they're
did
also
pay-
famous. They're also famous for signing bums, aka Galladay is the last one.
Not to mention a certain quarterback they're paying
All right,
$40
well,
million
I mean,
for.
only 1 year is down on that contract. I'm not giving that up until like after the third year.
$40 million a year. But anyway.
Yeah, after this next season, the Giants can completely back out of the contract. No dead cap, no nothing. So it's basically a 2-year deal, which
they
I'm not
better
even
back
really
out.
mad at.
They better back out because this is going
Yeah,
to
of course.
kill them.
Yeah, of course they're going to. If he's a backup, well, hold on. So I don't know if they're doing the smoke, like the thing where like they'll like throw down smoke screens, so like you can't really see what they're really doing. Joe Shane and Brian Dable have been saying that they expect Daniel Jones to be the starter.
Yeah, heard that.
And I look. I'm a huge Daniel Jones fan, But like at this point with the injuries and like it's year 7, it's going to be year 6.
You're sick.
And
The
Jesus
fact that it's
Christ.
year 6 already is wild.
World.
the fact that it's JG, you're not old. The fact that it's year 6 and we're still, the fan base is still split. Like, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? You can't have a quarterback that you're paying this much, and you're asking when he's this into his career, is he the guy? Is he not the guy? And this season, and this is actually something I talked to Bobby Okereke about when I talked to him at the beginning of the season. I asked him, do you think that Daniel Jones is a top 10 quarterback? He said yes. And I said, do you think he's a top 5 quarterback? He said, that's what this season and that contract is supposed to prove this year. If he plays up to that contract, then yes, he's top 5 quarterback. If he doesn't, it's a problem. He didn't say that last part, but that's kind of what he was alluding to.
I mean, he's definitely right. He's definitely right.
Yeah.
I agree.
The thing
So-
with Saquon, though, I just want to say this, is that
Mhm.
it took so long for him to sign this deal, the 1-year deal, and the season is already over, and now Giants fans and the front office have to go back to that whole process again. And Joe Shane did say that the second franchise tag is an option, but I mean, I don't know if Saquon's going to sign that.
You can't take a franchise contract 2 times. Like, you're either going to pay him or you're
what's
not.
the
gonna
franchise tag this year? Do we know what the
I'll look it up.
franchise
I'll look
tag?
it up.
Yeah,
You
let's
guys can
see.
continue on, look it up. But I mean, did he sign it last year? No, he did.
He did not sign the franchise tag. Instead they-
11.3 million. 11.3 million.
All right, so it's a bit up from what his 1 year was this year.
He's
Wow,
not
they-
taking that.
That needs to be a little higher. That needs to be something like
13.
14 million so that
Yeah.
these running backs actually want to sign it.
I mean, the thing with do we think they can ink Saquon to a 2-year 28, 14 a year?
No shot. The
Nah.
Giants won't give him 14. They would have done it by now.
Saquon, listen, this is
I
this is
feel,
what
here's the
talking
thing.
about
I feel
before.
like Saquon is worth that 14 mil. It's the O-line that has prevented him.
This is such a good topic for debate. It really is when you think about it. This is such a good debate topic.
Jacob, what is your standpoint on like bringing Saquon back? Do you think we should keep him or not?
Here's the thing with when I watch games with my dad, he just we both say we think. I mean, here's the thing: when Saquon gets into open space, he's dangerous.
And Jacob's dad's a character. He's fucking hilarious.
When Saquon gets into open field, he's dangerous. But when he does not have an O line, he's terrible. When he does not have an O line that can block, it's like a 1-yard carry. That's it. So I feel like the Giants, before Saquon signs, the Giants need to revamp this O line, because if they revamp this O line, Saquon's interest might go up a little bit. But if they don't, I feel like he's not going to come back.
I think Saquon wants to retire a Giant, but the money's got to be right.
The
Yeah.
money has to be right, and he's got to be on the team that he wants to play for.
So that's a very interesting segue into our next topic. You mentioned Brian Dable. There's a certain coach of his that, as of today, has not only left, but this man has basically left, kicking and screaming out the door. Wink Martindale and the Giants part ways. And this is an article I just found by Paul Schwartz, the New York Post. It says, quote, "Here's what went down. According to people in the building who are aware of the situation, Dable met with Martindale on Monday and told him there were staff changes coming. Dable mentioned the dismissals of special teams coach Thomas McGaughey and offensive line coach Bobby Johnson. Thank God. Martindale, angered by this news, cursed out Dable and his piece, got up, slammed the door, and walked out of the building. He notified those close to him he planned to resign. Basically, like I said, he went out kicking and screaming.
What I heard is, I mean, it's kind of a weird situation, because I wake up this morning with a notification on Twitter saying Wink Martindale didn't resign in all caps. And I'm like, wait.
Wink Martindale, right this second, Wink Martindale did not resign yet.
Yeah, right now, Wink Martindale is technically still a part of the Giants staff.
But he's going to be out of there
But he's
any
going to
day
be
by now.
gone. My friend sent me a picture of a guy that looked just like him at the airport. I mean, it could be him. It looked just like
No,
him.
that was definitely him. That was definitely
That
him.
it looked like him, but also what I heard from Giants analysts is saying that he wanted to be fired so he can get his money. Because
He wanted to be fired so
Yeah.
he could go be DC over in Philly and be and coach against us.
No. I think
Yeah,
there's a different.
yeah.
I think
Alright.
there's
No,
a
'cause
different
he-
angle.
He
There's a
and
different
Brian Dable were beefing like since probably the 49er game is when that started. And it was still kind of an ember. And at the beginning of the offseason, there were some words exchanged, and he walked out and he basically wanted to say, F you, I'm not playing, I'm not coaching for you anymore. And he walked out. So because now what was an ember is now a full-on fire.
Yeah.
Like they're not cool.
And I'm shocked that they turned out to be like this, because last year when the playoff year, they were close. Like they were close.
They were hugging each other, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, they were close. But I mean, like you said, JT, with the Eagles, like the Eagles praised him in both games the Giants played them. If they fire Desai, I feel like Wink is their number one.
It's either that. Here's my angle. Call me biased. I don't care.
Yes, I know you told me you want him to go to the Rams.
Raheem Morris is getting head coaching offers, previously from the Washington Commanders. It's gonna pile up, and Wink Martindale, with the week of the Giants game, did not shut the fuck up about how good Aaron Donald is. He talked about this man in like 4 different interviews. I feel like that he would be the perfect fit for our defense, because I think Raheem Morris is finally out the door. But he's going to leave on his own terms. He's not getting fired. He's going to leave to coach somewhere else. That's the way I see it.
Wink, I mean, I feel like the Rams would be better with a more traditional defense. Wink would probably have to change that team around for it to be kind of like suitable to what he does.
Yeah.
True.
Because they run like, I don't know like what their base, do they run the 4-3?
We're mainly, I'm pretty sure we're a 3-4.
Do you run the 3-4? Okay.
We're either 3-4 or 4-3. I can't remember.
That's either 4, like Giants ran the 4-3 like forever, and now they primarily run out of the 3-4.
I think we're a 4-3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Rams are 4-3
4-3
defense, which is a more traditional defense, because the reason the perks of a 3-4 is you can kind of bring the 2 outside linebackers down, so you can kind of have 5 people on the line without 5 people being like, because you could do anything you want with those 2 outside linebackers, but like traditionally you have 2 D tackles, 2 ends, and then 3 linebackers over the top, and that's your front 7.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
so
makes sense.
Wink is not. I mean, I don't. I'm sure he could figure something out, but I think he would want to go to a team like the Eagles, who have a lot of those guys. Like they just have like playmakers.
Yeah.
Or even a team like I think of Dallas. I think of Jacksonville. I think of maybe even Seattle.
You're dreading him going to Philadelphia.
I'm like, based on what I've heard, that's where he wants to go. And actually they won't fire him, because if they're, he could go to Philly if we get a 1st-round pick. He's gonna have to deal with us first. Then if he wants to go somewhere, we're not gonna keep him.
Yeah.
But we want our picks. We want compensation if we're setting off one of the best, like a top 10 defensive coordinator in the league.
Here's the
We're
thing.
not just going to give that up for nothing.
Are you very confident that he's going to come back, or that he's going to, that he's going to be okay with,
He doesn't have a choice. JJ, you don't get it. He doesn't have a choice. If he wants to continue to be a defensive coordinator or a coach or do anything in this league, it's going through that building in East Rutherford. Joe Shane is going to have something to say about wherever he goes.
Well, did you see that in the end of the season press conference when Dable mentioned Wink, like Shane's hand, like I think Shane knows something because like Shane was like fidgeting, like he was reaching for like he wasn't still, like something is off with
No, because what happened was they Dable and Shane called that meeting before Wink
Yeah.
talked. They played this masterfully. I am nothing but impressed with the way that Dable and Shane have handled this because they knew that Wink was kind of going to be a problem because they knew that they were dropping some of his guys, and so they got ahead of the issue. They kept their hands clean, and so that way, before they talked, they were able to say, "Listen, we expect him to be back. We haven't talked to him yet." And now Wink looks like the asshole
Yeah.
because now Wink is the one who is getting all the headlines. Oh, Wink ran out kicking and screaming, and he's getting on like running to Sarasota, Florida,
Yeah.
and
I
like
see this thing on Twitter from Bobby who works at Talking Giants from John Boy, and he posted this 53 minutes ago. It says, "This is the part that will make him despise Wink. Dable at least tried to deal with these issues to get through the season at a minimum," said Wink, went mute, and then blabbered to the media. It says Dable proudly confronted Martindale twice about the report and no explanation was given. Dable walked into a meeting of the defensive staff and referring to the report announced if anyone had a problem with him, they should speak up. No one spoke up.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it seemed like that issue was like kind of mostly fabricated by the media, um, and like they didn't really sit down and like it kind of seemed like they squashed the beef. It was after the I believe it was after what was the game that they won after the Seahawks game.
Packer, no. Was it the Packers
No,
game that I said?
it was their second win of the season.
Why can't I remember who they beat? They beat the Commanders was their next win.
That was
Yeah.
that was when Dable gave Wink the game ball
Yeah.
and said like that was like his attempt to kind of like squash the beef.
Mhm.
This was not they like these two guys, Brian Dable and Joe Shane, like they will stand on business. Like they are not gonna mess around, but like they're also gonna be professional. And I
Yeah.
feel like this is kind of an issue of like some lack of professionalism on Wink Martindale's side because Brian Dable made an attempt to try to squash this issue, and I think that because Wink didn't sit down and talk it out, they kind of let it snowball and it became a thing to where you said Dable walked into the defensive meeting and said, "Do any of you really like? Can we just squash this right now? Like, does anyone have a problem with Wink?" And no one said anything. Maybe they did. Maybe they did, and they just didn't say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a weird situation.
This whole thing's a fiasco. But you want to know what also has been a fiasco?
Was that?
This entire NFL season has been a fiasco.
It's a weird season. Yeah, we had a lot of.
It's about time that we finally can get into the NFL playoffs. Oh, have I
Excited.
waited a long time for this?
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I
I
feel
know you guys are
like this could be a good. This year could be good. Could be a good playoff. I don't know why. I just have that feeling that.
I agree. All right. So
We're all NFC fans. Should we start in the NFC?
absolutely.
All right.
Now, we are making one collective bracket. And if you're going to make a crazy hot take, you better state your case. If you can't state your case, you choke under pressure, you go with the majority. All right, let's do this. So we're starting off with the Buccaneers and the Eagles. A very interesting game, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say this now. This was a game that if you were to say to me that the Eagles are gonna play the Bucs in the playoffs, I would be like, Eagles by a million. Now it's hesitant because of how bad this team has been.
Yeah, I'm hesitant about the Eagles too. But with that being said, what the Eagles could potentially be doing, and I wouldn't be surprised by this at all, if they've just been shitting the bed to throw teams off to then go off in the playoffs. That would not surprise me one bit. That would be such a Philadelphia thing to do. With that being said, I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't
Nah.
think Tampa's got enough to hang with. them.
I recently spoke to Katahat about this.
Spoke to the boss.
Spoke to the boss. Spoke to the boss man. Boss man said that there have been some really, really serious internal issues that have arisen within the Eagles organization, and that is not the same team that started that season out 10-1, because the whole season there were cracks that were in the foundation of that team that didn't come out until halfway through the season. Like, think about like some of the first games, like the Eagles Patriots game, where the Patriots they almost lost to the Patriots, who are, I believe, what they have the second pick.
Third pick.
They have the third pick in the draft this year. They turned out to be one of the worst teams. They have had these really, really close wins to teams that they should have been beating by a lot more. And so because of that, like there are cracks that have been forming in within that organization, and I don't think they'll win another game. And I think the Buccaneers will kind of have, it's not going to be a free win, but I think I'm going to give the edge to the Buccaneers here.
Wow.
Because this is not the same. I'm telling you. The same Eagles team. That was the 1 seed.
Here's my thing with the Eagles. They're either out in the first round or they make it to the Super Bowl. Period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, no in-betweens. They're either done in the beginning or they're done at the end. Simple as that. Okay.
But the Bucks is like, it's gonna be a close game, but I feel like the Bucks don't have the experience yet. Well, I'm a big experience guy. Like, I don't like when I talk about teams that have not made the playoffs in a bit, the first thing I go to is experience, because the Bucks don't have much experience, I would say, because Baker, this is a whole new Bucks team from last year with Baker instead of Brady. But I feel like the Eagles will just squeak out. But I agree with what you're saying, JT, that I can see the Bucks winning for sure.
Okay.
A lot of Eagles fans too, Boss Man's friend KJ. He says, "I'll be shocked if the Eagles beat the Bucks." I was like, I could see that. I could see it, but
they see it. They see it because they know. You're Jacob. You're a Giants fan, right?
Yeah.
I assume. And JJ, you're a Rams fan. So we're not up to like, we don't have our ear on the pulse of this team like these Eagles fans do. Yeah. I know Dalton, the main guy at 302 Birds, he's freaking the hell out because this he knows, he's keeping up with all the stuff that's going on within the organization. And what is this? What do we do?
It's me. And meanwhile, I'm out here celebrating that my team is now in the playoffs in their first year of a rebuild. A rebuild, and they're already in the playoffs.
Weren't they rebuilding last year too?
We weren't even. I told you this wasn't a rebuild. This was a retool. Now, this picture just showed up in my feed. This was a memory. I said this 1 year ago today, and I was giving away off-season grades for the Rams. Oh boy, did I wait for this one. The Rams get an F. Just a full-on plunge from last year. Finished at 5-12, one of the worst offenses in the league. If they can't leave it, this team is cooked. Injuries killed them, but 5-12 after winning Super Bowl is unacceptable. I swear to God, Raheem Morris not far. I will lose my effing mind. Also, Liam Cohen sucked ass too. Run it back. Molly takes 10 steps back. Now we're cooked. They need a perfect offseason, i.e., now they had a perfect offseason. This couldn't have gotten any better for them. Simple as that. And let's get into that game. Lions-Rams, first ever showcase of two former quarterbacks going head-to-head in the playoffs against their former team.
This is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I'm definitely watching this game.
And why is it on Sunday Night Football? Could have been on any other day. Why would it have to be on Sunday?
Okay.
Because it's the best game of this round.
JJ, I don't think you have school Monday, so, it's basically like a Saturday.
Is that MLK Day?
Yeah, it's
MLK that's Dr. King Day.
So we got off Monday.
I got to spend my Martin Luther King Day watching the Eagles and Bucks. That game's
So
gonna be such a
the
shit.
Lions and Rams,
Let's
the
talk about it.
Lions really good year. Really good year. Rams, on the other hand, showed up really good year. And I feel like this is going to be a close game. But I feel like it's going to come down to if the Rams can cover Amon-Ra. JJ's favorite cornerback, I forgot his name. I know his last name is like Kendrick or something. I know it's his favorite.
Shut up. That dude is trash. He is the LA Rams version of what my friend says Darnay Holmes and DeAndre Baker meshed into one.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So
I
if they put him on Amon-Ra, they're toast.
Yeah, I agree. Now with Laporta out, that's a huge loss to the
Yeah.
Lions. Like big loss.
I mean, James Mitchell gets his
Opportunity.
time to shine.
Yeah, to make up for that drop. I'll tell you what though. If we give up a punt return touchdown to the Detroit Lions, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. It's already happened to us twice this year. Tylan Wallace, Gunnar Olszewski. By the way, the NFL came out with their top plays of the year. Do you want to know what the thumbnail is?
Tylan Wallace.
Tylan Wallace.
He was
By the way-
he was also Red Zone's best play of the year.
By the way, there are a lot of Giant clips on there, and a lot of them are lowlights for the Giants. Many, many, many lowlights. But anyway, I think this is going to be a great game. I think the way that we can beat this team is stopping their offense because their defense is fucking terrible. So we should be able to torch them with our run game. If Kyler can do his thing, Puka and Cooper do their thing, this should result in a Rams win, and that's what I'm going with. I'm going with a Rams win.
I mean, I expected that. I don't know. It's going to be a close one, but at the moment, I'm going to give the edge to the Lions. But I could see the Rams definitely winning it. I could definitely see the Rams winning it.
What do you got, JT?
I feel like the Lions are a really high-powered team, and I feel like at home, that's a big tough ask to ask the Rams to go into Ford Field.
But
And
you're going in with the Lions' former quarterback in Matthew Stafford. And here's the thing.
I know.
Here's what I didn't mention yet. I know things that people about Jared Goff fans don't know that are Lions fans. Jared Goff cannot handle a blitz, and without a tight end, he's terrible. He doesn't have a tight end this week. No Laporta. So if you can get to Jared Goff, you will win this game. Period. So that's why I'm very confident that the Rams are going to win.
I forgot to look at injuries before.
Yeah,
we
no
did this.
Laporta. Laporta's out. Also,
But
Duke Shelley back from IR. So
Ooh.
that's big for us. Now the Cowboys and the Packers. It's a revisionist one. Mike McCarthy facing the Packers in the playoffs. We all know how this story normally ends.
Also,
However-
also the Cowboys also want revenge on the Packers for the Jared Cook catch that they had that one year.
And the Dez catch. Well, I mean, the no catch for Dez.
This catch.
I'm obviously going to give this
This
to
catch.
yeah, it was easily. I'm obviously going to give it to the Cowboys.
Yeah, agree with
But
That would have to be a miraculous
But if the Packers win, I'm in a great spot for the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. Excellent spot for them to get.
Yeah, I mean you're definitely rooting for the Packers if you're a Rams fan here.
And I'm not. These aren't my picks. I'm just sorting this out. What will definitely happen if the Packers win? They get stonewalled by the Niners. Obviously, the Eagles are not a very good team. You'll beat the Eagles, and then the 49ers, the last place they
Hold
wanna
on,
see-
hold on. Slow down. I thought you said the Eagles were like a top 10 team and they were gonna stonewall the Bucks.
I said, imagine if that did happen. I'm not being serious. They're gonna barely beat the Bucks. They're gonna squeak out of that one. And you thought their secondary could cover Darius Slayton, Wandale Robinson, and Sterling Shepard, and even Saquon Barkley. Imagine they do against Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Kyron Williams.
Yeah, what about Mike Evans and Chris Godwin? Chris Godwin.
See,
I have a point.
Don't forget
That
K.
was
Dot.
point.
Don't forget K. Dotton. He's
Not-
sleepy too.
see, here's the thing. Whether it's Bucks or Eagles, I take Rams over both. But and this is not a prediction. This is just what will happen if the Packers win. the last place the 49ers want to see us is the NFC Championship game. They do not want to see us in the NFC Championship game. We all know what happened last time. They came into our building and we sent all the 49er fans home unhappy. I think they would do it again. And that would get them into the bowl. But we unfortunately have to be realistic here. Cowboys will play the Eagles. And the 49ers are probably going to beat us in the divisional round. So, Eagles, Cowboys. JT wishes both teams could lose. What are we thinking here?
Eagles versus Cowboys. Oh man.
This is a matchup. Like the Cowboys are like way better on paper and as of right now, but with their history in playoffs, it does not sit right. And with the Eagles as of where they are at right now, like this matchup is like a shit show matchup for me.
When you get this matchup in the playoffs, even in the regular season, and Jacob, we know because we're NFC East fans, like you're getting, it doesn't matter what you're getting, like you're gonna get the best Eagles team. They're gonna come to play if we get this matchup in the playoffs. And I think this is the one game where if this happens, I'm saying the Eagles are gonna win.
Fair
I
enough.
agree.
Yeah.
The Cowboys have not made the NFC Championship in God knows how long, and the Eagles have kind of owned them lately. However, the game is in Dallas. And if there's one thing we've learned this year, narratives are not safe at all, except if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Eagles. Now, 49ers, Eagles, NFC Championship game. To be honest, I hope both teams lose. I don't like either team.
I'm pretty sure we probably are going to all agree on this one.
Can we all say it at the same time?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Niners.
Eagles.
All right, JJ.
Eagles.
That's
All right,
biased, JJ.
49ers keep choking in the NFC Championship game. Someone's going to expose them like the Ravens did. It's either going to be the Eagles, the Cowboys, or us. One of those three is going to expose the Niners. So, yeah, I feel like that the Eagles came into that game incredibly cocky. They were on such a high. The Niners wanted to kick their ass. And what happened? The Niners kicked their ass. Now it's flipped. The Eagles are looking for a statement win. The Niners are on the biggest high in the world. They're playing a team they crushed in the season, only to get stonewalled by Philly. On their home field, Eagles go to the bowl.
I don't think so, man. The Niners, this is kind of their year. I really think
Will never be the Niners' year.
This could be their year.
Never. Ever.
I think you're just biased.
Not biased. I genuinely think that they're going to fall off at some point.
Not against the Eagles.
The one seed never wins. Besides last year, the one seed never wins.
Yeah, but like the only reason in this scenario where the Eagles are even in the NFC Championship is because they went against Dallas in the divisional and they somehow beat the Bucs in the wild card.
Somehow might be a bit of a stretch, but carry on.
Because it's like, first off, I think they're going to be first round exits. Like, I don't even think they're beating the Bucs.
You want my real prediction? Fine, I'll give you my real prediction. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. That's my real prediction.
Dude. Hey, you know what? I hope it happens. I hope you're right.
It beats the Eagles or the Cowboys. Anywho. Yeah, they're not going to win.
I think if the Rams see the Eagles in the NFC Championship, I honestly think the Rams would win if that happened.
I agree.
But the problem is the Rams are not beating the Niners after they just beat them in week 18.
That would be such poetic justice to beat them again.
It's not happening. It's not going to happen. Listen, they had a great season. This is a great season to build off of. If they somehow beat Detroit and they get to the divisional round, that's a great season to build off of. You won a playoff game.
Yeah.
You go into the off season, and you just okay. We're moving. We're
All I'm gonna
moving.
say is this: they gave us a 1% chance to win it all. 1%.
Yeah, so they're probably
Bet
because that's why
that.
because
You
they have
are
to go through
Bet that.
because they have to go through San Francisco, and they're
We're
not beating
afraid
them
of
again.
we are not afraid of San Francisco. We almost beat
Dog.
these bums without 3 of our best players.
Dog. It's a different team. They're coming off a bye, and they're
Yeah, the
they're going to be
49ers
healthy.
The 49ers, they did do well off the bye last time, but I just see something happening. But in all seriousness, let's just move on to the AFC.
The Eagles are not beating the Niners in the NFC Championship.
Someone's gonna beat the Niners.
Dude, they're not losing it's not even that listen, okay, if I have the Niners, if I'm putting the Niners in the Super Bowl, they're losing.
Yeah.
How about that? Dude, can we agree on that
Sure,
at least?
whatever. Fine.
Because
Okay.
it's more that the Eagles are here because of sheer luck, because they got matched up with Dallas and the Buccaneers. Because they have an admittedly easy route to the playoffs.
Yeah. Here's
Can I
my
also say that this NFC Championship would be in San Fran also? Like, just keep that in mind also.
Let's
I
set
feel
the record straight, though. I got to be honest. A lot of people, and you guys think I'm crazy with the Niners. Just wait till you have to see what I have to say about the Ravens. But let's move on.
The Ravens, this could be their year too.
Texans and the Browns. Texans and the Browns.
Wait, so what's everyone's, before we move on, what is everyone's like official predictions for, like, we didn't really do that for the and we didn't really finish.
Oh, wild card weekend predictions. All right, I got Eagles over Bucks, Rams over Lions, Cowboys over Packers, Browns over Texans, Chiefs over Dolphins, Bills over Steelers.
Okay, I'm gonna write down mine. So for the wild card weekend for the AFC, I got the Bills beating the Steelers, I got the Chiefs beating the Dolphins, and I got the Browns beating the Texans.
Okay.
I got the same AFC as JT.
Okay.
And you too, JJ.
Okay.
Write that down.
My NFC, I mean, I think it's the Bucks Eagles are going to be close, but I feel like the Eagles are just more playoff ready at the moment, even though they've been terrible of late. Lions Rams, another close one. Gonna give that one to the Lions by like 2. Cowboys Packers shouldn't be as close as it's gonna be.
Bet, Jacob. Keep doubting us.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you Michigan treatment. All right.
Bet.
And I'll go
We
with
win
the
it all.
Cowboys.
It's gonna be so much sweeter when we win it all.
Yep. Get on the field, please. And,
You'll be hearing Mr. Brightside at the Rams parade.
JJ, I know you won't be there. And give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's true. No one goes to our parade. Okay. Anywho,
JJ, you live on the other side of the country.
That is true. I'll tell you what.
Dude, JJ, you should be a Giants fan, bro.
Exactly.
You should be in the gutter with us right now, man.
Listen, man, Ben McAdoo ruined everything.
Dog.
Anyway,
Listen, I get it. I was there for that, but
I hated McAdoo.
You can't just bail on your team, man.
I didn't want to be a Giants fan from the beginning. I did not want to be a Giants fan. It was either the Steelers, Bills, or Rams.
I don't get those 3.
Doesn't matter. Ravens over the
Steelers. I can see. Steelers. I can see.
Bills. I had family who are Bills fans.
Okay, so
you live in New York, so
And the
Bill
Rams.
can also see.
Rams.
Where the hell does that come from?
So basically, at the time when they were the St. Louis Rams, their colors matched my, I guess you could say, my high school's colors. That was the one thing. Second thing is they used to have a jersey that looked like one of the jerseys that I wore during my, hang on, I probably have the jersey somewhere. The Rams used to have an alternate all gold jersey, and it looked exactly like this.
Is that like your high school jersey?
No, this was like my 6th grade jersey that I had.
That's sick that they give you the nameplate.
Yeah, it was fire. Our youth league is pretty cool. Shout out Newburgh Goldbacks. Anywho, that's basically how that happened. And then Todd Gurley came along, and who didn't love Todd Gurley? Come on.
That's true. That's true.
Love Todd Gurley. So sad what happened to him.
AFC playoffs. Ravens, Browns. Y'all heard the rumors. OBJ got another yacht.
Yeah, I don't even think it was real though, to be
Y'all
honest. But
know what that means.
it could be real.
Browns upset the Ravens in round 2.
I could
said
even
it.
see this happening
Call my
just
shot
because
right
the
now.
Browns, Kevin Stefanski is potentially a coach of the year candidate. And like he's been tearing with that Browns team
Mhm.
with Joe Flacco. They
And-
like I seriously could see the Browns winning that game against
And
the
also,
Ravens.
I always bring this up to my friend who's a Ravens fan, and he hates me for saying it. But what happened the last time the Ravens were the 1 seed?
That's true. That's true.
What happened?
They were humiliated by Tennessee. Yeah, Jack Davis is in the comments going wild. Bills and the Chiefs. Now, I have a class that's called History of Sports. I'm not making that up. That's an actual class. And the teacher is a Buffalo Bills fan. And earlier today and yesterday, he was blasting Shout in his classroom. I thought it was hilarious. And then we've got them playing KC, and everyone knows KC Bills. Oh, no one wants to see this again. It's becoming more boring than John Cena versus Randy Orton or Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Anywho, the difference maker is that the game is in Buffalo. It's not in Kansas City this time. There's no escaping it. The Chiefs are ass on the road. The Bills are dominant at home. Give me the Bills.
That's a weird AFC Championship Browns Bills.
Strange. Very strange.
I honestly have the Ravens winning against the Browns. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them, but I have the Ravens win that game. And if they
If that upset happens, I get even more confident about us beating San Francisco. If that upset happens, anything could happen.
I
We
mean,
beat-
usually you don't get more than one major upset.
I disagree because you look back at 2021, you had the Bengals upsetting the Titans. And what happened after that? The Packers lost to the 49ers the exact same day. How could anyone forget that? Both 1 seeds out in the second round. I could see that happening again here. I'm dead serious. And now we go to the AFC Championship game. Bills and the Browns.
Browns and Bills. Who would have thought these two would be in this game?
I'm sorry, Joe Flacco. Your luck has officially run out to the Stampede. Bills to the Super Bowl.
Wow. I feel like we at the beginning of the season we always mock the Bills to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and it never happens.
So this is what my realistic prediction is if they catch fire. This is what I hope the prediction is. That's what I hope it is. But hope is not a strategy.
Yeah.
So what do we
No,
got?
that doesn't look too bad to me. I feel like the Ravens are winning the divisional round and they're going to the AFC Championship. And if they do go to the AFC Championship, they beat the Bills in that game.
So you're saying you have
Because
a battle of the 1 seeds in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I actually do. Because though the Niners and the Ravens are the 2 most complete teams in the league. And like the Bills have very stark they have very stark holes that are a big deal. And if all it takes is for a team like the Ravens to exploit that, which I think they will, and I think that, and the same thing with the Browns, they're a very exploitable team. I wouldn't be surprised if they found themselves in the AFC Championship, but the fact is, the Ravens are an insanely good team this year. They have everything.
They do.
They even
They
have
do.
my man Isaiah Likely from Coastal Carolina.
Isaiah Likely.
I love Isaiah Likely.
They have my boy. They got my boy Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame.
No, I actually went to school with Isaiah Likely.
That's dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have the Buffalo Bills winning this portion of the Super Bowl. But we all know what's really gonna happen.
All right, can you be realistic for once?
Yeah.
All right.
Realistic.
All right, wait. What's everyone's predictions for the divisional round? Do you
Divisional
guys?
round.
Divisional. If it goes the way we have it, if it goes the way
both-
that's on
Do you
JJ's.
both have the Browns and the Bills?
But here's the so here's the
I
situation.
mean, here's the thing. I could see the Ravens winning, but I still
Wait,
think what happened
Jacob,
last.
Jacob, you got to remember, there's a certain formula that we do things. We go week for predictions. We go week by week. So we're just doing wild card weekend predictions. Divisional round, we'll worry about when those matchups come out. You can we have brackets, but if you hit your bracket, I mean, good. So your Super Bowl champion prediction, mine is the Buffalo Bills. Although
I don't think they're a good enough team to win the Super Bowl.
although my
Like,
screen
I think
says different.
they're too exploitable.
I mean,
My
your screen is also just you.
Yeah, your screen also has an Italian flag as the cursor.
Don't disrespect Tommy Cutlets.
Hey, I'd never just
Bro,
Dude was
where's
in
the
for
dip?
he was in for a quarter and then injured again. The Eagles massacred him. It was the only bad thing the Eagles defense did.
All right, so what is our actual predictions for these?
Actual prediction is Bills Eagles.
No, I'm saying for wild card weekend, like who's everyone's
Oh, I
predictions?
said Browns over Texans, Chiefs over
oh.
Dolphins, Steelers over Bills over Steelers, Eagles over Bucks, us over Lions, Cowboys over Packers.
I'm saying Tampa's going to beat Philly. I think Detroit's going to beat LA. And I think Dallas is going to beat Green Bay. And
for
I
the
think
AFC?
yeah, for the AFC, I got Buffalo's going to beat Pittsburgh. The Chiefs are going to beat the Dolphins, and the Browns are going to beat the Texans.
All right. Fair predictions.
All right.
So that pretty much wraps it up for our NFL playoff segment. Question is, though, will we see the Giants here next year?
Probably not.
We gotta see what DC they get. If they get Antonio Pierce,
Then
that
I
would
could
be an
say
amazing
potentially.
signing. Yeah, I could see that. Jacob, what do you feel like are the biggest issues for the Giants?
So for DC, let me just say these things for DC. My friend says, and I agree with him, if it's not Wink, it's Pierce. I don't know why, but he wants Vrabel for DC. I don't know why. And he said, and he also gave me the idea. What about Riverboat Ron as a DC?
I want like a former player for a DC.
I mean, Pierce could fit really well.
I know.
You guys should have a Giants podcast, if I'm being honest with you.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
So I'm making an off-season wish list.
Oh,
for the free agents we're losing, we're talking the Giants for a sec. We're losing these are the UFAs this offseason. Saquon, Isaiah Simmons, Gunnar Olszewski, Ben Bredesen, Carter Coughlin, Adoree Jackson, Justin Pugh, Xavier McKinney, Tyrod Taylor, Ashawn Robinson, Paris Campbell, Jihad Ward, Matt Breida, Darnay Holmes, Shane Lemieux, Cam Brown, J.C. Hassenauer, and Sterling Shepard. Those are all the UFAs.
All right, half of those guys didn't even play a snap this year. I'm gonna be honest.
So all right, let's cut the fat.
Yeah,
Saquon. What do you want for Saquon?
You know, am I going deal or am I going yes or no?
Yes or no. Yes or no.
So
for that guy, let's see because obviously like if it takes like 20 million to sign Saquon, that wouldn't be.
But if he's willing to take something, yes.
What's your cap on Saquon?
So we did 11 last year, and I think what he was looking at last year was the market. Like how much was Dalvin Cook gonna get from?
He wants 15. He wanted
15, but he wasn't gonna get that.
Yeah.
I feel like my cap is maybe 12.5 to 12. Go up a mil because I don't think he's gonna stay put at 11.
Yeah,
I'm
saying I'm saying no, but I'm willing to take no more than 12 on a 2-year deal. So 2-year, $24 million contract.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and so for Isaiah Simmons, what do you want? You can
God, you know what?
That's gonna be.
They need to find just get him a year. Maybe try to get him back for this year. because I like this. I liked him.
Yeah,
was
me
a-
too.
He was the guy everyone wanted when he was coming out of college, and they got him
Yeah.
for like a 6th round pick.
I know. That was a really that was a great trade by Shane. Gunnar Olszewski.
Shut up.
They'll find him. They'll find him, and nobody will pick him up if they let him go. They'll sign him to the practice squad, and he'll be elevated.
I'm gonna say yes. I only brought him
Yeah,
up because I wanted him to come back.
yeah. I've officially had enough. We're not speaking of that stupid punt returner with the luckiest.
All
punt
right,
returner
all
of
right.
all
That's
time.
like the
AJ,
last.
you won the game.
inconsequential
Calm
time.
down.
We won the game, but at what cost? 3 heart attacks in one. Almost falling
right.
to my knees in public.
All right, JJ, you won the game.
I'll take
You
it.
won the game. That was the plan the whole time. Ben Bredesen. I actually talked to this dude. I'm
Who?
like, Ben Bredesen. He's actually been a really solid player for us this year.
The hell is that?
It's
Left guard,
giant
left
stuff
guard.
you wouldn't know.
Left guard.
Should I like go off the air so you guys can just keep this
I
going?
mean,
I'm
No, I
legit.
mean-
It's either I edit this all out or I go off the air.
Let's just this will be quick. We'll just
Okay.
give me a yes or no because Saquon is really the only one I wanted a number
Yeah.
on. Adoree Jackson.
the fact that we need CBs, yes.
Yeah. Justin Pugh.
No, he's too old. Too
I,
old.
I want him back. Xavier McKinney.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want him back. Tyrod Taylor.
No.
No. Ashawn Robinson.
The thing is that he was such a guy that we want. Like my friends, like, oh, they need Ashawn Robinson. Didn't do anything. No.
Can we question? Can we have Ashawn Robinson back, please? We
Sure,
like him a
take
lot.
him.
No,
He did nothing.
I want him. I want him. I think if he's
I
healthy,
want
I think
him.
he's a really solid piece.
That guy was great for us. I want him back. He was great.
Geoff Warden. Geoff Ward.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want him back too.
for sure.
And then that's really the last. And I mean, if Sterling Shepard, do you want this man back?
For the locker room, yeah, but for the field, no.
I just want Geoff Ward back for the vibes. I want Sterling Shepard back for the locker room. The
Yeah.
other ones, Darnay Holmes, Shane Lemieux, Cam Brown, JC Hafsnauer.
None of those guys.
Nah.
Darnay's is a guy that if you need them to draw a holding penalty, the offense to draw a holding penalty, put Darnay on the field.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Sounds about
Yeah.
right. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
thank you, JT, for hopping on as always. And as of right now, you are still and currently our NFL picks champion
Let's
with
go.
your improbable 14-3 record. That was
Let's go.
bananas.
Let's go.
Yeah. So thanks for hopping on, JT. Take it easy.
All
man.
right.
Have a good night.
All right. Peace out, man.
Boys.
Peace out, JT. All righty, that's gonna wrap it up for another episode of the J&J Show. I'm JJ. He's Jacob.
Almost 2-hour show.
Almost 2 hour show because of the Giants talk, which took about 35 minutes, which I'm gonna have to go edit out later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you watch the playoffs. I will be posting all playoff recaps on
Hold up,
Instagram.
before we just go, if JT's still there, just got a notification the Giants are interested in Pierce. That's
Oh
beautiful.
no.
That's beautiful.
Oh no.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, the Raiders are gonna hang up that phone real quick.
That's beautiful.
Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you watch the NFL playoffs. Keep watching the Knicks. They just won by 30-something. What a great night it was. And as always,
Islanders lost 6-2. I'm pretty sure, or 5-2.
I did say 5-1, so
It was either 5-2 or 6-2. I know Brock scored twice for them, so
God damn it, Brock Nelson. You couldn't let me be right for once.
5-2. Yeah.
Damn. If he didn't score one more time, I would have had the score right. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As for Jacob, I'm JJ Seggs. We're signing off. Have a good night, everybody. And horns up.